great way for Preston Knowles to go out. I've seen these guys make a lot of hustle, great plays this year, but that play by Peyton Siebel was as good a play as I've seen as a coach. To dive head first, come up with the ball, make a perfect pass, and you'll see he's got a tremendous gash, but that was incredible. Really proud of our guys. We started slow in the game, but we ended great. And a lot of spectacular plays, a lot of unselfish plays again with 21 assists. But I'm really proud of our seniors. Sometimes you miss coaching players like this, and they kind of restore your faith in everything you believe in as a coach, this team. And it was wonderful to coach them this year, and I owe them a great debt of thanks because it was really wonderful season.
Have you lost some of the faith, like that you talked all year about everybody buying in and how sometimes in this culture nowadays that...
No, I just said, I talked last year we wanted to rebrand ourselves. I think if you're at a place long enough, if you don't rebrand, it's a stale brand. And so that's all I wanted to do is rebrand it a little bit and get a certain style back and make sure that we all understand why we're here, why we're playing the game. And it's tough. The younger generation today is tough. You even see it in the NBA level. Guys not showing through walkthroughs, and it permeates everywhere in our society today. Even some business schools got dropped from the 1 to the 7, 8 spot, graduate level, because they're, I don't want to mention who they are, but because the arrogance of thinking they're one. And it's everywhere. But this team restores the faith in everything you believe in as a coach.
Rick, you got a double barrel wrapped up now. At this point, now it's just playing to try and get the best seeds you can.
Well, most important thing for us, and I thought it was possible, but I thought it was a real long shot to win all 6 segments. And you've been hearing it all year, and we've won it tonight. So besides the double bye, I'm really proud of I didn't care if we played or double bye. That didn't really mean a whole lot to me, but the 6 segments really means a whole lot to me because we never lost 2 in a row in a very difficult conference. We played very entertaining basketball, very exciting basketball with a lot of character. And now we have our chance for our first sweep, and it's going to take a mountainous effort, but we've been there before on last game of the season. It's going to take a big effort to do it, but there's not any team I would have more faith in than this team going into any environment.
Did you change your approach to representing this game, Rick, after the first game? What did you do with him?
Well, we did a very good job in the first half against him, but then in the second half, we allowed him to step away from the basket and get some threes, even though they were quite long. We were going to make up our mind tonight that we were not going to let him breathe.
What about the game that Kyle had? He's doing a lot of it.
Well, he missed his shots, and the good thing about it is he drove offensive rebound, did other things. And that's the thing we want. But I thought everybody really played well. Our 3 wasn't going, so we did other things. And we started slow and had to catch up. And sometimes the emotion of senior night makes you start slow. I've seen it before. But we held them to 7 assists in the game, which is big, and we had 21. Shot a good percentage, played good defense, and it was a great night. Great season.
Defensively, last 4 games, you're holding teams to 35% shooting.
It's a little more difficult with this team because it's a transition team, and you can't really choreograph your defense the way they're going. You got to. But Gorky gave us a big lift in the second half of bothering people around the basket, and they missed some easy shots where we didn't in the first half. But we talked about before the game. We talked about what makes us successful. What makes us successful is these guys understanding what the other team's going to run. Like, we're not a very good defensive team. If you were a great offensive player, none of our guys could stop you. But collectively, and the same thing's true on offense, they move together and take away what the other team does extremely well because they're willing to talk, sacrifice, and most important, pay attention. These guys put a lot of work into that. And our coaches did a fabulous job this year of preparing them. We did a terrific job on offense of using each other because we're not a breakdown one-on-one team. We got to use each other. Our pick and rolls were great this year. I thought Peyton did a fabulous job of finding people. So we improved a lot as the season went along.
What about the Big East tournament? It's going to be a wide open. I mean, do you see it as a wide open thing, maybe even more wide open than past? How do you look at that?
You know, I look at it this way. I couldn't pick a team that if I had to pick a team that I want to play in the Big East tournament, it'd be from another conference. By the time you get a double bye, so you know, I don't know who I'd want to play. Somebody said we could get Syracuse versus that, and I said, geez, I don't want to play Syracuse. And they said, well, you could get Notre Dame. I said, I don't want to play Notre Dame. I said, well, you could get Pitt again. I said, I don't want to play Pitt. I said, give me somebody else. You know, that's the way you look at the Big East. So you just play the game.
You might end up being right about St. John's.
Yeah, and St. John's has a favorable schedule, obviously. And you know, I break down the tournament. I used to do it for that crew out of Chicago, and I always look at how many seniors they have, how talented are the seniors, okay? Because the young players, what they don't understand about the NCAA is they think it's their time to perform, and they get caught up with performing rather than winning, and that's why I like experience. So it's a matter of having the right players who really want to understand. You know, last year, indicative of the Cal game, okay, we had a good group of guys, but they didn't understand what Cal would do. This team will understand. They could get beat, but they'll understand what their opposition is going to do.
It's been up and down. How would you summarize you and PK's career together?
It's been up and down. It's never been up and down at all. It's been a love affair since the first day he's come. Now, has he gotten in trouble academically, and have I had to discipline him in certain areas? Yes. That's like saying you're a parent and you've had an up and down childhood with your child because you've had to discipline him. You know, if you love someone, you discipline. So certainly it has been anything but up and down. It's always been up, but like a parent, you have to discipline kids. The ones that don't discipline kids are the ones that don't love the children. So discipline is a big, big part of love.
The president said the other day, Rick, and I know you've talked about this throughout his career, that he felt like you took a chance taking him because you talked about.
Well, I did it because it is Charles Gibbons.
Yeah.
I've known Charles a long time. He was a friend of mine in Lexington. He's probably the only Louisville fan in Lexington. And he said to me, Coach, I'll vouch for him. And I told this story many times. I called all types of coaches, and they said I was crazy. And when he went in, he just had a fire in his belly. It was quite noticeable. And he said some things in the meeting that I thought were taking a big risk on him. But when you got fire in the belly, I'd much rather coach Preston Knowles than anybody else. And he's been great. Great freshman year, great sophomore year. His junior year, he was hampered by his thumb. But it's been really fun to coach him because when he steps between the lines every single day, he gives it, but he gives it more important for the right reasons. He gives it for Louisville.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you all. Thanks for the coverage this year.